According to the National Bullying Prevention Report, 1 in every 4 students is bullied during the school year. The Shawano School District in the state of Wisconsin is hoping to reframe this conversation by fining parents of these bullies upwards of $366 for the first offense and $681 for the second offense. Now, this process will involve an initial warning by police to the parents. They'll have 90 days to
deal with
the issues with their kid, and then they will be assessed a fine.
Okay, you know, I mean, it's one of those things where I feel like I understand how much of an issue bullying has become, but I just think, you know, financial fine, you know, like money fines are not, I don't know, I think it's a little misguided. I'd like to hear a little bit more why they think this is going to be.
So one of the things that the police chief in Shawano County is saying is that he feels like parents are not aware of how their children behave outside of the home. And so this is a great way to draw some attention to maybe some deficiencies that students are experiencing on school sites.
Right, I get that, but it's like when I was in school, we had parent-teacher conferences for such a thing, right? We had after-school suspensions, we had phone calls to the parents, etc. I just think, I mean, it doesn't seem to take into account the reason why people become bullies. You know, generally speaking, it's that they've been bullied themselves. You have no idea what the dynamics are at the home. So I just think adding financial burden to the parents, when you have you have no idea what kind of home these kids are living in, it just seems a little misguided, especially considering money is not an issue for people who have money. This is going to be an issue for people who don't, you know?
And some of it is a school issue. Some of it is because this fine is not getting to the root of the problem.
Right.
It's not rectifying or working to correct or putting any type of a support construct in place for students to grow and evolve. By getting to the root of it, this is fining parents, and maybe, you know, mom or dad will do something at home, or maybe they'll just be really upset because they got fined, and they'll be, you know.
Yeah, you're like, this is not a parking ticket. I just, to me, now I grew up in the world of bully proofing. So I am from the town where Columbine happened, right? So ever since then, they were really serious about bully proofing. They were really serious about really calling these things out. I think the violence that we see in schools, school shootings, et cetera, like I totally get why it's a heightened case and why people feel like, oh, how do we deal with this? I just think utilizing resources a little bit better, whether that be through counseling, after school programs, whatever it is, involving the parents I think is important, but just slapping a fine on them, I don't think is going to deal with the problem. Do you?
No, I don't, because I think we need to get to the root of the problem.
Yeah,
and then once you get to the root of the problem, then internally on the school site, to put something in place to be able to address this and then bring the parents into the fold. To your previous point, parent-teacher conference is one way to be able to do that. The school district, though, is saying that, you know, this is a way to mitigate some of this stuff and to get in front of some of the issues further down the line that are systemic with regard to bullying. But I just don't know that this is the way. I don't know that a fine is the way to accomplish.
Like involving litigation with the school ground, it just seems odd to me, but I don't know. So is this something that they've already put in place, or they're trying to put into place?
They're trying to put this in place. They're saying that right now there are no issues that are warranting citations, but the school district is. And
also, it's like such an arbitrary amount. You're like, how did you factor that in? It's one thing we were talking before is like if, for example, if a kid throws a baseball through their neighbor's window, the parent's liable for that, but they give the money to the neighbor so that they can repair their window. It's like, where's this money going? I mean, it would be one thing if they said, oh, this is actually going to a program to deal with bullying and counseling and just, you know, what causes the root issue. But
is this an appropriate way as far as funds, right? Funds to have law enforcement involved in this.
Yeah, resources, exactly. I don't know.
Well, think before you speak, otherwise it'll cost you.